up the live stream real quick. Sorry for the delay. I guess YouTube. I think we're good. Yes, perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen again. Sorry about that. Okay. So, isolation advantage. And the only thing I could really think of, is becoming a quarantine queen. I was a little inspired. I don't know if anyone knows Todrick Hall and his album that he released. Sorry about that. I don't know if I'm getting interference from YouTube or okay. So yeah, so that's really the workshop. So before we get too deep into it, here are some resources that I wanted to provide just before we jumped in specifically to the workshop, I guess. UCF CAPS, that's a great resource. If you are a UCF student, there's the website, the phone number. They're there to talk. I know they're still doing virtual sessions. You can call them. You can set up like a video call. They will be a great resource if you need someone else to talk to, whether outside of family or friends and stuff like that. OSTEM National also is a great resource. Feel free to always go to ostem.org. There's tons of stuff on there. They have a mental health text line, so feel free to text them at that number. They'll, I think, text you back or send you whatever you need. There's also more info online. You can see those resources. There's also a relief fund. So if you are registered as an OSTEM member, which you can easily do, if you're at UCF, feel free to join our chapter on there. It's no cost to do that on their website. And you can get essentially COVID relief funding if that's something that you need. They also have a Slack messaging group. I haven't joined that, but supposedly it's good. And there's online events. There's actually one tonight after this at 8 p.m. So feel free to join that if you're interested. I believe it's about advocacy. So ostem.org is a great resource for that. OSTEM at UCF, the e-board's here. If you're in the group me, feel free to message us. We're willing to help you or get the resources to you that you need. There's other resources at UCF, such as there's a faculty mentor group, LGBTQ services, and there's also resources beyond, such as Zebra Coalition, Covenant House, and other various local organizations, which we could put you in contact to if interested. Covenant House is like housing, so if that's also something that is needed, reach out to them. Okay, so let's just jump in to the next part. So I wanted to start off with this workshop of, becoming your quarantine queen. And so really, this is the time. I know a lot of us have more time on our hands because we might not necessarily have to drive to school or drive to work or tons of stuff. I mean, I know I don't even have to do as much laundry as I did because I'm at home all the time. So this is the time for you to also think about, who you are, what do you want to do, how do you want to behave, how do you want others to view you, and pretty much how do you want to live your best life. And sometimes quarantine can really kind of make us, I guess, sad or not thinking about our actual lives. We think we're not really living our life because we're at home, but this is the time to think about what are we going to do when we get out of quarantine and how can we make the most of our quarantine. And so that's really what this whole workshop's about. And this is an introduction. How can you make yourself this quarantine queen? And how can you come out of this quarantine being the best ever? So just continually think about that. And every person's is going to be different. This workshop is going to be the things that I think are beneficial and the things that I've seen others think that are beneficial, but it might not always work for you. So use my resources if you would like, but those are like questions that to think about. So yeah, So the next part is happiness, and kind of going back to what I was saying, happiness is essential right now. It's really hard to be happy. I know, like, I think it was like a week or two ago, I wasn't really necessarily just happy because I felt like I was in the same routine every day, and it was just wasn't going for me. Um, and then I went to the beach this past weekend, and it like changed my mood. Just like being outside, the fresh air, the water, the warmth, it was just amazing. So even if it's just like getting outside every day, um, and doing something different outside every day, um, it will definitely help just in terms of a change. I know maybe when you wake up in the morning, just walk outside for a few minutes because you're gonna get the sunlight, your body's gonna wake up, you're gonna just feel a lot better. Um, Pretty much happiness also strives out of like selflessness. So like think about who makes you happy in your lives and like let them know. Maybe just texting your parents or texting your best friends or the people you haven't seen in a while and say, hey, I really appreciate you. You do a lot for me, or whatever you want to say to them, because you're going to make them happy and you're going to be happy. And why not just tell someone that you appreciate them? Another great thing to do, and necessarily you don't have to do this like every day or every week or whatever, but at one point maybe just like think or write or put in your phone certain things that make you happy that you want to do, and can maybe find a way to do some of those activities during this time. Like for me, I went to the beach on Monday. No one was there because everyone was done for the 4th of July holiday. But I went and it was great. I went with 2 friends. So something like that. Also, sleep. This is a perfect time to sleep, but also do it reasonably. There is a quiz that I recently took, and I attended a lecture. The person who did this, he's a doctor. I can't remember his name. But if you go to chronoquiz.com, you can take the quiz, and there's like 4 different types, and you can learn like what your type is and how you function best and how many times, like how many hours a night you need to rest. And for me, I think it was 8 hours, it told me, is what I like, is my prime time sleeping. And it was right. I like to get about 8 hours. So, um, yeah. And then, sorry, the chat was throwing me off. I don't think I can see it. But do y'all see my PowerPoint still in the chat? Y'all don't see the chat on here, right?
You're good, you're good. I see it.
The chat's not on the screen though, right?
No, it's not. It's not.
So yeah, and then implement something social. That's how I'm really getting through quarantine, whether it be every day I'm FaceTiming someone different or talking to another friend or hanging out with another friend, whether it be video chat, in person. Obviously, be safe, take COVID seriously. Florida is really not having it right now, so it's really out here, and it's kind of putting a damp on our mood. But we need to also have that social interaction because that's what's going to make us happy and really enjoy ourselves and enjoy our lives. And even if it's just videoing for an hour, I know I FaceTime one of my friends that lives in downtown Orlando, and I FaceTime him like once, at least once a week, if not more. And it's really just a nice way to, I don't know, it makes me so. Let's see if this will play. Probably won't. Okay, cool. I will jump to that at the end. There's just a cute little video about how, even when the life's crappiest moments come, you can make the most out of it and be happy. Perfect. anyway, probably not the best video, but it just kind of, I saw it and I thought it was cute and funny, but it just reminded me, like not to be so serious every day and to really enjoy life. And I'm not going to be able to live that carefree, but at the same time, happiness is really going to take a mood and toll on your life and the way you feel and act and perceive. So now I'm going to jump into a little bit more outside of happiness and really how you feel and some tips and tricks between that, and move into more of a sorry, my dog. And now jump into more of pretty much how to make yourself better during quarantine. Like, what can you do um, with the time? So this is kind of my breakdown. There's no really set. Okay, what? 1 second. Sorry about that. There's no really set. These numbers aren't necessarily taken from anywhere. Just kind of what I was brainstorming. But pretty much when you go into like an interview or you introducing yourself to someone or you're at a networking event, these are the things that they're going to think about. Um, you need to be 100% you. You know what I mean? So like, if you are part of the LGBTQ plus community, or if you're not, besides that, you want to be 100% you. And that's really what the whole circle defines. And then someone's going to look at your resume. Sadly, education is like, what we're here for at UCF or college or wherever we're doing. Education is probably going to be the one thing that gets us in. And then really the next thing is you. We're really interviewing you. You know what I mean? So be who you are. You also have experiences in life that plays a big factor. And then I think it boils down to 10% is like, what do they benefit from it? 10% are maybe small details, that maybe how you dress that day or the way that you perk up that day or the way your attitude is or sound. And then 5% other little details that who knows. And this might not be in every say, but it's what I think is the most important parts. So think about what your chart is. If it's not necessarily this, or if you don't agree with this, think about what it comprises of you and how you can market yourself to people, right? And then work on those things during quarantine. So moving forward, is the next topic, which is certifications and continual learning. So for me, I'm currently in a AT&T Summer Learning Extern Academy, and I'm getting a lot of resources from that. Sadly, that has already closed for applying, but if you're interested, I can share all the information with y'all. There's tons of stuff. That's where I actually got the chrono quiz from. And I also did a certificate for hospitality and tourism for FAU. They did a free certificate, so it was great. Also, sadly, it's already closed, but the app is doing like continual. This is all in the find them yourself section. That's kind of what I've done. I haven't taken F1s, but offering free professional courses through UCF. With LinkedIn and feel LinkedIn Learning. That is a great website. You'll get free access to courses. You can also just go into LinkedIn. There should be like a learning in the top. I don't know which way this is, but in the top right-hand corner, and then UCF students, you more access to more courses. So that's a great resource. There's tons of stuff on there. You can learn how to program. You can learn how to tons of softwares. You can do leadership. You can do LGBTQ professionalism. You can do business development. There's so much on there that you can do. And then Coursera, I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. Is offering free courses right now due to COVID, and there's tons on there. There's tons of free ones, and then there's tons more for college students. So those are the links there. And all this you can Google. Like, don't feel free. Like, I can send you the links later if you want them, but they're all Googleable. You can search Coursera, free courses, students, whatever, LinkedIn Learning. And the thing that I want to hit on here is LinkedIn, LinkedIn, LinkedIn. I know everyone always says it, but it's really where I've learned about all the ones that I'm doing this summer. I've learned about the AT&T externship program through LinkedIn. I learned about the FAU certificate through LinkedIn. There's so much you can gain through that.
You mind if I cut in?
Or
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm also a part of the AT&T externship. Yeah, and it's a really valuable program.
yeah, may I ask how you found out about it?
I don't remember. I think I probably I'm not sure how I found out. I believe someone I got it from an email from Handshake, which is kind of like LinkedIn. Yeah. I mean, I don't remember. I really don't remember, but I found out about it before and I decided to register for it because I thought it was a good program.
Yes, so far I've really been enjoying it. So definitely keep an eye out for everyone else. For tons of courses, I know for if you're interested. Also, Handshake, like that was just mentioned. Handshake is a great resource. If you haven't signed up for that, do that. That's really through UCF. You can talk to tons of recruiters. There's events. You can do resume critiques. You can do like fake interviews. There's actually a thing with T-Mobile on Tuesday, July 14th through Handshake. You can go to UCF Career Services to register. And what else? There is AT&T. If you can send the information as well, they're doing a AT&T sales and leadership recruitment thing on July 15th as well. And they'll talk about nailing like role play interviews and getting a job, and that's through the sales program. So there's tons of things. You can search them more at the end, but FAU is also doing a hospitality and tourism panel on Friday. So feel free to refer to that. You can Google it's called like FAU hospitality and tourism steps. I took the certification course with them, and it was good. If you're interested in hospitality and tourism or just learning about it and how to get involved, maybe register for that panel tomorrow. Alrighty, so now you kind of know like what there is. What are the tools that we can to get there? Like I kind of appreciate a LinkedIn is going to be great. So many contacts, learned about so many opportunities. I learned about so many opportunities through it. There's tons of interviews. You get to contact like employers, and it's great. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be where I am on LinkedIn. Work on your resume, whether it be asking us to review it or someone else to review it, some friends to review it, career services will review it, whatever other clubs you're in will review it. The resume is what employers are going to see. So make it shine. Craft your resume to where you apply as well. Career services, again, I hate to keep plugging that in, but career services is great. And there's stuff that they offer. You can get help for like finding internships. And there's also tons that are virtual. Work on your speaking skills. I always need to work on my speaking skills, but this is a time where we can kind of just sit in front of the camera by ourselves with no one in front of us and just speak and maybe practice things within your major or things you'd like to talk about. Think about improving elevator pitch. Think about what you would say to an employer or your personal branding, right? Where can you improve and where do you need to improve? Do kind of like a self-assessment. So I think that's kind of some great working on me parts that we can do during quarantine. So the next thing, getting involved, right? So like, how do we get involved? There's tons of ways, tons and tons and tons of ways. So we'll kind of start here and work our way up and out. So since this is OSTEM at UCF, you can get involved within OSTEM itself. You can become a member and just kind of do your thing. We also have the executive board and appointed board, big president, extra board positions, and then we have committees. We have currently a marketing committee. We might have some other things in the works maybe in the future, but all that will be opening in fall. So if you're interested in getting involved in any of that, we would love to have you, and we'll keep y'all informed. In terms of STEM nationally, you can become a volunteer in which you would do similar positions as like an appointed board. So there's tons and tons of different opportunities. There's like a membership group. I think there's an advocacy group. There's tons of groups. Just go to ostem.org, how to get involved. There's also like a mentee and mentor program. So if you're interested in that with OSTEM National, feel free to check that out on ostem.org. And there's also a leadership program. I don't know how much of that is going on, but I think they'll open it this year again because this year's got canceled. So next year's should be in place if everything goes well. And then beyond, OSTEM specifically at UCF, there's multiple ways. I only really highlighted more of the diversity elements. So if you want to get a position with Multicultural Student Center, that's a great resource and opportunity. The Lavender Council, which is within LGBTQ services, that's also a great resource to get involved with. OSTEM. And then one that I highlighted that I'm involved in is Knights of Distinction. That was currently in the continuing education pretty much department. Now it is in the experiential learning and career services department. So that is a great resource. If you do it, it goes on, I believe, your transcript when you graduate. It pretty much pushes you to get certain supposed to get higher learning experience, and I forget the other ones. But either way, it's a great program. It really pushes you to get a lot of hours and experience, and it's a great way to do that. It's kind of like a double whammy, is what I like to say. So yeah, and then not only get involved, but actually go. Here are some, but not even a lot. There's tons and tons more things that you could get in. But here's some of the things that I like to point out, and I know OSTEM itself likes to point out. Out for undergrad, sadly, that just closed their applications earlier this month, late last month, but you didn't have a chance to apply this year. It's going to probably be even better next year. It's a conference. There's business, there's marketing, there's tech, and there's engineering, and it's for LGBTQ students. It's each of them are in different cities at different times, but you can apply. If you get accepted, it's $90. If you can't afford the $90, you can apply financial need pretty much, and they'll waiver that for you. But they fly you out, you get the hotel, and you get to go to an amazing conference. Oh yes is Orlando Youth Empowerment Summit. That is mainly geared more towards high schoolers, but it is ages 13 to 24. I really suggest going because it's virtual, so you can just chill 2 hours for the thing. If you're interested, but kind of iffy. I would say definitely register for September and October. And if you're interested, August is more of like a back to school thing, so I think that'll geared more towards high schoolers. But I do know September and October would be geared probably more towards college kids, and it's a great way to get involved. I think there are some things that you all might like. There's like civic engagement, I think is the 26th of September, and I think October is something else. But either way, there might be special guests, there might be videos of people you may know, there may be celebrity videos where like they talk about a minute about it. I know there is going to be local performers throughout, I don't know which days. There's also on the 26th, there's going to be a panel as well as on the 24th. So definitely register for those if you're interested. And then OSTEM conference, don't have too much on that yet, but we'll keep everyone posted. But yeah, make sure to go to those things. Resources, they're great. So, even if it's on Zoom, like these people down here, I don't know, I didn't have another picture to put. So it just reminded me of a Zoom meeting. Half the people are paying attention and then like half the people are like in front of the camera. But yeah, UCF is a resource. They'll post all of the posts out on our socials. So go to all these things and come to, even if it's like our meetings, just like, even if it's not our meetings, like just getting out there and becoming a better you know what I mean? Job opportunities. I think this is probably why I'm looking. So at the end, I'll kind of open Parker Dewey, but Parker Dewey is a great resource because I haven't necessarily done it myself because I've been very busy. So I haven't necessarily had the opportunity to gain the experiences. However, the experiences are real, legit. It's a real thing. So I would call Parker Dewey a pay for hire type deal, I guess. Pretty much what they'll do is the companies to go through them. It's kind of like a LinkedIn maybe, and they post the job and you do a job for a company. That's it. It's like one and done. But that doesn't mean you are necessarily done. You might even keep going for an experience later on. $400 to craft a web for them, and then they're done. They don't want you, or I think Pepsi was on there, and they want you to like do research, right? They just want you to research, and they'll pay you like $600 to do like 20 hours of research, and then if they like you, that they might hire you on for an internship the following summer or something like that. So that's a great resource. Definitely register for it. It doesn't hurt to register, even if you don't get anything. However, one thing that I will mention when I've talked to people that work with them, don't get discouraged for applying just because sometimes there's only one person and the way that it is interesting. But once it's gone, once it's taken, it's gone. So like you might log in sometimes and there's tons of opportunities. You might log in sometimes and there's like 5. There's a lot more now recently. I haven't checked today, but there's been more recently because of COVID. It's a great resource. Use it. But what I've heard is it might take you in between 10 to 15 times to apply before you get one. That's not always how it is, but since a lot of people are applying, you never know how it's going to go. So don't get discouraged. It's usually the application, you upload your resume, and then I think each application has like 2 questions. So it's very difficult. LinkedIn also versus and Handshake at UCF. I know Handshake's also elsewhere if you don't go to UCF source. So definitely check those out. Talking about LinkedIn, I found NBC Universal. They are doing internships remote. So if you're interested in working for NBC Universal remotely, those applications close tomorrow. But yeah, definitely Google that and apply if you're interested in that. So those three things. If you don't have it, get it. If you have it, use it. You better work. All right, so this slide, right? I didn't do anything to this slide except put go big on the bottom. This was in the template, and I just kind of laughed when I saw it because I'm like, wow, another pointless slide. But like seriously, the big image word was there. It was there, and I just left it. And the thing was, wow, this is so pointless. But the thing is, it's really not. Don't forget to like take a step back, see the big image. If you're feeling down, take a step back, take a breather, be like, okay, what can I do to clear my thoughts? I was watching a video from AT&T today, and this girl was showing us that like your brain is like a cup, right? And you can fill up that cup with things throughout the day. If you're on TikTok for like 20 hours, because I know some of y'all out there watching TikTok all day, and whether it be like applying for jobs or working or watching videos or whatever you're doing, the brain's filling up, and sometimes that's going to get stressful. You just have to take a step back, maybe write down all the things that are in your brain, and then try to focus on one or two. That's not always going to be the situation, but the big picture, look at the big picture. Take a step back, look at it, think about it. How do you want to manipulate it? Where do you want to go? I want to go here. That's really where I want to go right now, but I can't. So just take a step back, think about where you want to improve, how you can be happy, the ways that will make you happy, whether it be hanging out with friends, video chatting, um, working on your resume. What do you need to get done? How can you improve yourself? How can you make yourself more happy in quarantine? And how can you make yourself better after leaving quarantine? So pretty much that was my presentation. Let me look at this chat. Does anyone have any questions? If not, I will, or once we're done with questions, I'll show some of the websites that I talked about throughout. So does no one have any questions? Okay, let me go ahead and just share my website screen and show you some of the resources. Go from there. So we'll start off. Sorry for all this crap up here. We'll start with, this is NBC Universal. I don't know why it looks like this. Oh, okay, because I clicked on opportunity. But yeah, NBC Universal Careers, there's tons of open positions. I believe these close tomorrow if I screenshotted this one. Yeah, I can't find it right now. But yes, these are now 10. NBC Universal. Here is the hospitality tourism next steps for FAU. It's also free to attend. So there's that if you're interested. One thing in terms of what I like to do in my free time, they have an Instagram page, they have a website, it's called Free Stuff Finder. It's so much fun. Like I find the greatest deals, and it just like makes my day because I get out, I'll go to the store, I'll get something for a great deal, and I go home and I'm content. So Free Stuff Finder, if you're interested in deals and just like, I don't know, whatever, it just makes my day. So that's something that I figured I would also share with y'all. You can find some pretty free and cool things on there. If you're a UCF student, Knights of Distinction, this is a great opportunity. Just Google Knights of Distinction. You can apply. I think the only thing is your GPA, I think, has to be above a 2.0, maybe a 3.0. And then these are like the milestones: high impact learning, leadership. So definitely, yeah, 3.0. But definitely apply. The deadline to apply is July 20th. I definitely think it's worth it. It shouldn't take you too long to apply, but it's something that'll look good. And eventually, it sounds like they're going to be making it into a minor. So if you're still here when that happens, you can, I believe, elect into the minor, but not completely sure about that yet. Parker Dewey, here it is. Let me go ahead and log in real quick so y'all can see my profile. Oh, I'm already logged in. How convenient. So there's tons of things that might not even, it's major specific, but the thing is they don't want you just to apply to your major. So I'm electrical engineering, but I could also do marketing. So no matter what you are or what you do, feel free to apply for any of these. And there's tons. There's remote, there's on-site, so just be aware of that. And then you have to press the details over here to see all the details. But there's tons of things. Tells you if you do this one, which is remote, you could get paid $900 for 80 hours. That's, I'm pretty sure, more than $10 an hour if I'm doing my math right. So definitely apply to that if you're interested. Not all of them are going to be like that, but there's tons of opportunities. If you have nothing to do and you want something to do, this is a great resource. And they might even hire you on later. So that would be even better. Here's CAPS. There's tons and tons and tons of resources on here. This is, oh yes, there is on Saturday back to school mental health and support. So if that's something you're interested, feel free to register for that. Civic engagement, queer political power, the celebration of resilience. I think there's going to be like some history and some performances. So definitely recommend registering for all that. I'm on the planning committee for it, on the youth planning committee. So I think there's some exciting things that y'all might even be interested in attending. And it's on Zoom, so if you get bored, you can always just bail. But here's the OSTEM website. There's tons of things. If you go to membership, you can register a membership. It's free. Make sure to join our chapter if you go to UCF. And then if you go to resources, there's tons of resources here. There's affinity groups. So if you're part of, I'll go ahead and click on that. If you're part of one of these groups, feel free to join. There's racial and ethnic diversity, trans, non-binary. There's tons, disability, or as we like to say, ability. And there's tons and tons and tons of stuff. There's COVID member resources, there's events, the annual conference. Like I said, there's one tonight, and I believe that's yes, 101. So there's tons and tons and tons of resources that I've already just showed you. Here's their chrono quiz, chronoquiz.com. Feel free to take that. It provided me a little bit of insight. His video helped me a little bit more, but there's also another video at the end of the quiz that tells you stuff, and you can also Google without having to. He has a book, but I don't think you need the book. And then Multicultural Student Center, that's another resource. There's tons of resources. I could go on probably for hours naming them, but that wouldn't be fun for you, fun for me. We wouldn't be having fun, and we're trying to have a little bit of fun. This is the AT&T course, but there's so many opportunities out there. Get a LinkedIn, apply for things. Don't be scared, especially right now, everything's virtual, and live your best life. Make yourself do something every day that makes you happy, because if you're not going to be happy, I'm a bear as well, Caleb. So I definitely need my 8 hours and my coffee at my certain points in the day. So that's what the quiz will help you do. It'll tell you like, oh, like this is how many hours your sleep cycle is. I think mine's 90 minutes, and the best time for me to drink coffee is between like 1 and 4 and like 11 and something, or like 10 and 11 or whatever. So that's a great resource. It kind of tells you what to do and like how your body works best. And it was pretty spot on. So definitely gain more experience and learn about who you are, what makes you happy, how you can make yourself more happy. Take up some hobbies. Like I like to cook at night, or whatever you enjoy doing, you know what I mean? So make sure to take up those activities and make yourself happy. At least once a day, do something, even if it's listening to music. Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, tonight at midnight, new music comes out. It's my favorite like weekly activity to do is scroll through new music. So do something that makes y'all happy and it'll improve yourself, because once we get out of this, there's going to be tons and tons more jobs opening, and they're going to all want you, and there's still jobs opening and they all want you. So I guess we'll move into questions, and then if you don't have any, feel free to leave. So thank you all for coming. Join our socials, OSTEM UCF on Instagram. I believe that's also Facebook. Join on Night Connect, LinkedIn, wherever you can find us. We're here. We're there. We have a group me. Questions, anyone?